Why did the porn addict cross the road? Because he couldn't get a grip on his own side. Now, there's a joke to start a serious conversation. We're diving into the deep end today, tackling the question of how porn affects the male brain. It's a topic as slippery as a greased pig at a county fair, and as prevalent as cat videos on the internet. And let's not forget, it can make or break relationships faster than you can say Netflix and chill. So it's time to get a handle on this topic, folks. Buckle up. Imagine your brain as a computer. Now, porn is like that annoying pop-up ad that won't go away. Our brains are wired to respond to rewarding stimuli. There's this superstar chemical called dopamine, which is like the brain's version of a high five. It's released when we do something enjoyable, like eating a delicious meal or receiving a compliment. Now, when you watch porn, your brain is practically doing a touchdown dance because it's pumping out dopamine like it's going out of style. But here's the thing. The brain is a bit of a show-off. It likes to keep balance. So when it's constantly flooded with all this dopamine, it starts to cut back on its production. It's kind of like when you eat too much ice cream and then can't stand the sight of it. This is what we call desensitization. Now you might be thinking, well, less dopamine, less problems, right? Not quite. You see, without the normal level of dopamine, everyday pleasures start to seem dull. That's like going from watching a 3D IMAX movie to a black and white silent film. Suddenly, a romantic dinner with your partner or a fun day out doesn't hold a candle to the intense rush of watching porn. But wait, there's more. Our brain also has this thing called the reward system. It's like a personal cheerleader that gets excited when we do things that are good for our survival, like eating or socializing. But porn hijacks this system. It tricks the brain into thinking that watching porn is as crucial for survival as, say, eating or breathing. This is when things can get tricky in a relationship. Your brain starts to prefer the fantasy world of porn over the real world with your partner. It's like choosing to stay home and watch reruns of a sitcom instead of going out to see a live comedy show. So, basically, your brain on porn is like a kid in a candy store, with no off switch. Scene script. Ever tried watching a movie with someone who's seen it 100 times? That's your brain on porn in a relationship. Now let's talk about some of the potential effects porn can have on relationships. Picture this. You're at a fancy restaurant, all dressed up, waiting for your 5-course meal. But in your mind, you're thinking, why can't this be like my favorite pizza delivery scene? You see, that's porn seeping into your reality, setting up unrealistic expectations. Trust me, your partner isn't the pizza delivery person, and your love life isn't a scripted scene. Here's another thing. You know that feeling when you've had too much of your favorite dessert and suddenly it doesn't taste as good anymore? That's what we call decreased satisfaction. When you consume too much porn, your brain gets accustomed to a level of excitement that real-life intimacy might not match. So when you're with your partner, you might find yourself feeling underwhelmed, like eating a salad when you're craving a chocolate lava cake. Speaking of intimacy, let's not forget how porn can make that a challenging task. Just think about it. You're trying to build a Lego castle, but you've been watching Lego movie marathons. You're so used to the grandeur of the movie castles that you forget the joy of creating your own unique structure. Similarly, porn can make real-life intimacy seem less appealing, as you're constantly comparing it to the scripted scenes you've seen. But hey, don't start stressing. We're not here to make you feel guilty or panicked. This is just to create awareness. Knowing is half the battle, right? And remember, we're keeping it light and humorous here. After all, who said learning can't be fun? So if you're wondering why your love life feels like a bad sitcom, well, you might have your answer. And folks, that's a wrap on the relationship woes caused by porn. Stay tuned as we delve into the solutions in the next scene. Remember, it's never too late to turn things around. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. There's a silver lining to this cloud of smut. So you found yourself in a bit of a tangle. You're like a fly caught in the sticky web of digital desire. But fear not, my friend, because we're here to help you cut those silken threads and fly free once more. First up, therapy. Now, before you roll your eyes and click away, hear me out. I'm not talking about lying on a couch, spilling your deepest, darkest secrets to a stranger. Think of it more like having a chat with a wise old owl who's seen it all before and knows a thing or two about rewiring brains. You're not alone in this, and talking to a professional can really help you navigate through the fog. Next, we have mindfulness. No, not mindlessness. That's what got you here in the first place. Mindfulness is all about living in the moment, appreciating the here and now. It's like taking a deep breath of fresh air after being stuck in a stuffy room. It's about training your brain to focus on reality, not fantasy. And it's easier than you think. There are tons of great apps out there that can guide you through the process, and you can do it anywhere, anytime. even in the loo, especially in the loo. Lastly, let's talk about open communication. If you're in a relationship, it's vital to have a frank and honest discussion with your partner. It might be as awkward as a giraffe on roller skates, but it's necessary. Remember, honesty is the best policy, and your partner can be a great source of support. So there you have it. 3 potential solutions to help you break free from the chains of digital desire: therapy, mindfulness, and open communication. It might seem like a tall order, but with patience and persistence, you can get there. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was your porn habit. So there you have it, folks. Porn, the party crasher of your love life. It's time to face the music and dissect your relationship with porn. Understand its effects on your romantic relationships. Take control. Start conversations. Seek help if you need it. Be open to change. And hey, if you found this video helpful or at least mildly entertaining, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and share it with your friends, your family, your postman, whoever. And if you're struggling with ED, check out the comment section for more resources. Scene script. Before we go, here's one more for the road. You know, there's this hilarious story I once heard. Picture this. A guy walks into a psychiatrist's office looking all serious. He says, "Doc, I've got a problem. Every time I close my eyes, I see myself in a romantic movie scene, but instead of a beautiful actress, it's always some adult film star." The psychiatrist, trying not to laugh, asks, "And why do you think that is?" The guy replies, "Well, I think I've watched way too much porn." The psychiatrist, chuckling now, says, "It seems like you've got a classic case of porn-induced dream disorder. I recommend a healthy dose of reality, and perhaps a little less screen time." The guy nods, looking relieved. "Thanks, Doc. I'll give it a try." So let's all take a leaf out of that guy's book, shall we? Less fantasy, more reality. And remember, folks, keep those hands where we can see them.